Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to go over what has been a lot of theory and a lot of just guessing as far as the new Walking Dead spinoff that's due out later this year, the Daryl and Dixon spinoff. Now, lately here especially, people are talking a buzz about it a lot. We have the more or less confirmed return of Carol. Now, Carol, as you remember from The Walking Dead and when they officially and originally announced that the Daryl Dixon spinoff was happening, it was actually going to be him and Carol. It was going to be their spinoff, but at kind of the last second or a few months before they were scheduled to start production, it was announced that Carol was not going to take part in it. She just logistically didn't want to have to film overseas for a long period of time, and also she was just kind of burnt on the character, burnt on the schedule and everything that required to do this show. She wanted to take a break, and just people just threw an absolute fit about it and just had unnecessary hate towards the character and towards the show and everything, just doing as some people do, just throwing a fit just to throw a fit. And so it pushed on. Daryl was going to do his own spinoff, and they were going to do this whole thing where he was over in Paris and we have no idea why. And just here lately we got the little bits of the official teaser. Now it's only 20 seconds long, so it's just really kind of further going at, Daryl is overseas and he wakes up over there. He wakes up washed ashore of France, and we have no idea why, and why France of all places. I mean, when he left Walking Dead after it ended, it was just him going off to continue his search for Rick, and so a lot of people are still speculating that the CRM is behind why he's over there, and they are what could be potentially the real big bad, I guess, of the entire Walking Dead universe, because they've really just lived in the shadows up until this point, and we've not really seen much about them. And now we see that the Rick and Michonne spinoff is really going to focus around the CRM, because we got that taste of it at the end of The Walking Dead, where Rick shows up again, finally, after so many years, after the time jumps that we've had and everything, where he is trying to make his escape from the CRM, but at the last second, he gets himself captured again. And from the context that we got from that teaser, this was not the first time that he's tried to get away and get back home and back to his friends and family and everything. And so this also intermingles with the fact that Michonne has been on the search for him since season 10, and we get some snips of her as well. It's kind of a past-present kind of switch back and forth and everything, where she actually has Rick's backpack that we see him throw onto that ship that's washed ashore, and that is the ship that Michonne comes across to find these things to send her on her journey. So, getting back to Daryl, like I said, everybody just lost their minds when Carol wasn't going to be a part of it, but that seems to have changed here just in the last week. It was announced more or less officially that she is actually going to return and be a part of this. There is some speculation, though, where she is not going to actually be in this first season. That has since wrapped production and everything, and these pictures are just now popping up. There is a lot of people saying that season 2 is already filming. They kind of bypassed the whole green light, red light kind of procedure or what have you to get shows. They're not going to wait for it to air to go based off ratings and all this shit. They just said, the hell with it, we're just going to go ahead and start filming, and they just kind of bypassed everything else and didn't even tell fans and all that. So they just kind of went their own direction, and now they're, from what I understand, they are filming season 2. Now, this is nothing official. This is just what people are believing, to have Carol show up and suddenly be with Daryl with these leaked photos that we have seen come here in the last few days. And not only that, with the leaked photos, we also got kind of a snip from Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who does play Negan within the Negan and Maggie Walking Dead spinoff, because he put out this tweet where he just was kind of apologizing to Norman Reedus for all the hate that he got and the show got and everything before it was even in production. When Carol announced that she would not partake, Melissa McBride just didn't want to do it. She wanted to take a break from it. I mean, you got to give it to her. She did it for 11 years, almost nonstop. Norman Reedus too, but he was really ready to move on and have his own story. So there was a lot of people betting on the duo, him and Carol, going forth and continuing the search for Rick or what other adventures they might get into, because as you can kind of see from the other spinoffs, we have a duo for each show. We have Maggie and Negan for Dead City. Now we have Rick and Michonne for the coming spinoff of theirs. And so what it appears that Daryl is going to be on his own for this first season, and if the rumors are true, the second season, this duo will be reunited. Whether or not it's actually Carol over in France herself for whatever reason that they would have to have a really good explanation for, or maybe within that first season Daryl actually gets his way back to America, but I really think they're probably going to have at least a few seasons. And also with these spinoffs, they're only going to be 6 episodes for that first season. There still has not been a word whether or not Rick and Michonne will actually get a second season. They're still saying that it's a limited series run, that they're only going to do the 6 episodes. But as I've expressed in other videos, and many other people have expressed the same, I don't know how they can fit that story and wrap up these characters in just 6 episodes, because Rick obviously is a very pivotal character to the Walking Dead universe. To take him and just do a 6-episode run and call it a day, that just seems really lazy, and just, unless they're planning something big, I don't see how they can do it. Now, there also has been some theories, and I saw this in another video from another creator and everything, that I really kind of like this theory, where we could actually have a grand send-off for all of the Walking Dead universe. Maybe with these spin-offs that they got going now, maybe they will finally kind of take it and wrap it all up in a big bow, more or less. Because as we saw in the Fear the Walking Dead mid-season finale, Morgan and his daughter are going about their way. They're making their way back to Alexandria, back to that general area, where Morgan once again is on the search for Rick to find the guy that saved his life and brought him out of his crazy stir, out of his trauma that he experienced after he lost his wife and son. We got that going first, where we could possibly see Morgan return in a crossover grand finale event where he is actually reunited with Rick. And also in that mid-season finale, we also got Dwight saying that he could possibly return home. And Sherry and him actually had this kind of dramatic breakup, which seems kind of silly in a sense. But we got Dwight saying that he might go home. He's not sure yet. And so we got these 2 characters from the original show teasing that they might return home, more so with Morgan. And then, you know, we just got all these different theories floating around, but I'm hoping what this other creator said, I think it could be good for the show and good for the fans and good for the universe as a whole, to take these shows and really kind of wrap them up as a whole. Take all these original characters from the first generation, more or less, because we see that Madison is now back in control of Fear the Walking Dead, and we could possibly see the return of Alicia, and the big thing right now also, we could see the return of Troy Otto. There's all kinds of videos floating out there. I've made a couple myself where we talk about Troy could also be possibly returning to get revenge on Madison for what she thought she was killing him. And along with that, we have Morgan returning back home, and then we have Michonne and Rick hopefully being reunited, and then we also have Maggie and Negan, Daryl and Carol, and I'm really hoping they bring all these characters together in one major crossover event, one giant spectacle to close all these characters' stories and really give Walking Dead a happy ending, kind of, I guess. And just there's just a lot of theories and speculations out there what they might do with these characters and what they might do with these stories. So as a whole, there's just a lot of teasing in the works, I think. And whether or not Daryl and Carol or Dead City and Rick and Michonne have multiple seasons still has yet to be seen, aside from the rumor that Daryl is actually already in his 2nd season, which will introduce the return of Carol. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, enjoyed the theories and my kind of thoughts about the whole thing, please leave likes down below and leave comments. I want to know what you guys have to say. And if you feel so inclined, subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. It means a lot more than you realize. So until next time, guys, take care.